welcome to another show of Expat Living. Well, being a freelance textile designer who have been traveling around the world seeking for new inspiration, Florence Mussou has never planned to come to Vietnam. However, during her first visit to the country, she fell in love with the local culture scene. She then decided to settle down and build up her fashion career in the country. And in our Expat Living this week, we'll meet this French designer and listen to her story about why Vietnam becomes her second home. French freelance textile designer Florence Mussou has traveled to many countries around the world. Attracted by Asian culture, Florence had a plan to visit Japan to find inspiration for new designs. But fate made Florence change her mind and she came to Vietnam instead.
I was very attracted by Asia, by the culture, by the spirituality, and I wanted something very different from the United States. I was very surprised by the culture in the United States. It was very, very interesting. I so much love a city like New York, or very big city, modern and very big. But I wanted to have something more authentic, more spiritual, and that's why I wanted after this trip something very different. So first I planned to travel to Japan, and at the very last minute a friend of mine invited me in Vietnam, but I have no connection, no attachment to Vietnam, but I decided to go and to visit for a few days, and then that's where the story began, and I totally fell in love with the country, with the people, with the culture, and yes, I can say I was very inspired in my design by the Vietnamese culture. So I decided to stay for a while, and then a while became almost 4 years.
Florence comes from Grasse in the south of France. The city is famous for its perfume making. Her father is a chemist, and Florence's passions for design started from when she used to look at vintage perfume bottle labels. As her passion for design grew, Florence left her hometown to broaden her knowledge and improve her skills. Coming to Vietnam, Florence feels like she discovered a different world. Unlike places like Europe or the US, Vietnam, a developing country, is the mix of both modern and old features. Among the hustle and bustle of life, authentic culture features exist. And that's an important source of inspiration for designers like Florence.
I am a textile designer, so I designed the print on the fabric. So when I came here the very first time, I wanted to create my own print collection, and I took my inspiration from everyday moments in Vietnam.
After some time of researching, Florence and two others who shared the same love for fabric created the fashion brand known as Metiseco. Metiseco draws its inspiration from traveling, the blending of cultures, the richness and luxuriance of the tropics. The brand aims to be uninhibited, without bias, and opens the boundaries between fashion and home.
So Metiseco, this is the combination of two French words actually. Métis in French means somebody with a mix between two cultures. And this is actually the story of my husband, Erwan. He is a métis, as he is a mix between French culture and Vietnamese culture. And eco for ecological, as we use organic cotton and eco fabrics such as silk, but maybe later it could be bamboo or something like this. So we wanted to match, to start from his own story, because our design is a mix between Vietnamese culture and French culture, and we always try to mix the different culture and the different inspiration. The design is French, but the inspiration is Vietnamese.
1, 2, 3, 4.
On the chess, and I always lose. She's a queen, and her anger grows. She's a queen, and I'm breathing out.
Mediseco made the traveler's tree as a symbol for its value and its brand. And now, Florence and her partners have successfully formed a world filled with own kinds of items and accessories with printed textiles at the heart of their creations. Mediseco also produces the only officially certified organic clothing in Vietnam.
For us, it was very important to start to create a textile business and to have something which can protect the environment and health, also the skin and everything. So it was very important for us. But yes, I think the first catch for the customer is the design, and after we have to justify and we have to communicate. It's okay, the design can be interested, but also there is a message behind, and there is something which can protect the environment.
And to ensure that all the products meet environmental requirements, Florence had to find material sources outside Vietnam, since they are not available within the country.
At the time we were sourcing for organic cotton, there were nobody who grew the cotton. And so we had to source in another place. So we came to India to find supplier. We can provide small quantities. And yes, so now we source our raw material in India. Then we import in Saigon, and we print and we dye everything. And then we make everything locally in our own workshop in Hoi An.
With lots of new ideas, Florence and her partners have continuously introduced new collections throughout the years.
Now I've just worked with a fashion designer, a French fashion designer, and we've designed a new collection, and we wanted to choose one Vietnamese model and one métis, one person who is a mix between two cultures. So she's half Australian, half Vietnamese. So also in the model, it's important to have the same values as our brand. Yes, I think the new collection is going to be very interesting. We focus. We have 3 new prints. After that, we keep the same print, but we focus on the cut and we focus on something more trendy, more fashionable for the cut.
The preparation for the photo shoot also takes Florence a lot of time, since she has to choose the right photographers and models who share the same feeling about the theme of the collection.
We have been working on the photo shooting for 2 months now to find the photographer we can match with the world and with the aesthetic of the brand. And we found two different models. It was quite hard to find somebody which can be a mix between both. And well, we found her. It was great. Yes, and it was very interesting to work with a Vietnamese model also. I like the fact that there are two different aspects and 2 different ways. every day I'm so scared to have no idea anymore for the next collection, and I think it won't happen yet, because I'm still very inspired by what I'm surrounded of, and all the people in the street, and I have so many ideas. So that's great. I think it's the very beginning, I mean, for everything. So I'm very happy to start like this.
So far, Florence and her partners have opened 3 stores, 2 of which are in Hoi An, where she lives, and 1 in Hanoi. Mediseco products have also won the heart of customers, including expatriates currently living and working in Vietnam.
The products are lovely. I mean, everything here there's so much detail and so much passion that's clear in the designs, and I love that they all have a story behind them, and that the materials are sustainable, that they're made here. I think it's beautiful, beautiful brand.
I've already bought some of the cushions for my home, so I'll continue to just get bits and pieces as I come to the store. Yeah, I really love them. I love the fact that it's organic cotton, that it's eco-friendly. I love that the patterns tell a story, and the quality of the products is so good. I think it's something quite unique to Hanoi.
I think I prefer this one. It really feels good on your body. It's really light, and that's really nice when it gets really hot sometimes here in Hanoi. So yes, I think this is my favorite.
With organic cotton used for fabric making, chemical use during the weaving, printing and dyeing processes that are not harmful to people's skin, and of course elegant designs, Mediseco is definitely a favorite option for fashionistas in Vietnam. Vietnam is changing quickly as time passes by. However, no matter how modern or developed it becomes, the old beautiful cultural values are still well preserved. And that's the reason why Florence chooses Vietnam as the place for her life and work. After years living in Vietnam, Florence has become a part of the country. Whether it's hustling and bustling Ho Chi Minh City or a much more quiet and peaceful place like Hoi An, she always finds new inspiration and ideas for her designs.
When I used to live in a city where it was, I mean, crowded, and there were a lot of people in Saigon. Now it's more quiet, it's peaceful, but I still like it very much. I told you, I think for me it's a great energy, and yes, I can. This is where I can find my inspiration.
With initial successes, Florence possibly may expand a business abroad, but with the great feelings that she has for the country, Florence does not want to leave. This is where she has chosen to settle down and build up her fashion career. More importantly, the land makes her feel that she's home.
I'm very confident about what's going to happen in the next future, but now I think I have the feeling I'm going to stay for a while in Vietnam. Of course, I would love to open a shop in France, but now, as my life is in Vietnam, I think I like working here also, and I think, yes, if I travel a lot, I'm always the foreigner, you know. But for me, Vietnam, being in Vietnam and discover the country, it was the first time in my life I could feel like it was my home, actually.
With her husband, who is also a partner in the job, her son, and a successful business, Florence now knows that she was right to make the decision to come to Vietnam.